All right, we are live. Um, I hope you guys can hear me fine. You guys can see me fine. Hit that like button if you can. Okay. Um, uh, my bad that I had put in at 9 p.m. We are live. So we're going to be talking about DeFi. Okay. Uh, this is going to be me rambling randomly around DeFi and trying to help you guys make a sense of things. So if you don't understand something, you can let me know. I'll probably explain that again. Um, I'm not sure if you can hear the dogs in the background. They keep barking, and I've recently got the whole place whitewashed, so there is no soundproofing in my room right now. And now I'm feeling the difference, like the different soundproofing can have. Um, just sharing this at one last place. Awesome. Okay, so let's talk about DeFi. Let me know, what do you guys want to specifically know about DeFi? If you have questions around DeFi, let me know about them too. Um, I got this hoodie. I don't know from where. This is like 8 or 10 years old. I got very fat in between, so I stopped wearing it because this would not fit me. Yeah, this will be on YouTube path, but then I started wearing it again. So pretty sorted in that sense. But yeah, let me know, guys. What do you guys know about DeFi? Is there something specific you want to know about DeFi? You can comment that. If you have not hit that like button, please do. Uh, I want this video to reach as many people as possible. If you have not subscribed, you can also click on subscribe. Uh, Again, the more you participate and the more you tell me what you want to learn, the more I can help you in understanding uh, what DeFi is. But for that, I need your equal participation. Hey Dinesh, I'm good. How are you? Hi, 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 guys. Pretty well. So, if we have to start with the simplest definition for DeFi, the simplest way I can tell you about DeFi is to first explain what is CeFi. Okay, so DeFi simply means decentralized finance. CeFi means centralized finance. Okay, that's what CeFi means. So, uh, centralized finance means that all of the finance happens through centralized authorities, which can be banks, which can be institutions, private institutions, usually backed by some sort of central authority in between. Okay, so that's what CeFi is, centralized finance. So, for example, All of the traditional investing ways are also considered to be CeFi. Okay, this banking system, it's entirely CeFi, centralized finance. Okay, this is what CeFi is so far. Now, the term DeFi originated a few years back for the first time in public eyes. Does not mean it wasn't there, but yeah, it just originated a few years back for the first time when people started to understand what DeFi is. So, if you read about crypto, you'll figure out that crypto is a lot around decentralization. Okay, people in crypto, they want decentralization to take place. Now, what does decentralization means? Decentralization simply means that there is no central authority in between. Okay, there is no central control point. Everything that happens is done in a decentralized way where every person has equal power, which is not the case in real world. Today, you don't have a power in, say, of uh, what the bank wants to do. Okay, you can't say anything to it. So decentralization, the idea came from the fact that people wanted that when it's about their money, like finance is ultimately about their money. They wanted a say in how that money was being used and what they wanted to do with their money, and they wanted control over that money. Okay, so this is what DeFi became. Uh, DeFi became where people could become their own banks instead of depending on banks. Okay, the whole core of DeFi is that you can be your own bank. Now, if you think about what do banks do? Okay, what is it that banks do? Think about it. Banks are mainly used for financial transactions. Okay, so first of all, you open your bank account. When you open your bank account, you get a checkbook. Okay, you get net banking. Uh, with this checkbook, you can take a piece of paper and you can put it in bank and say that I want to pay someone this amount of money. With net banking, you can receive money, you can send money, you can create a fixed deposit, you can use that net banking to pay for tax. In some cases, you can also use it to create OTM for your mutual funds, and you can also use it to put money into different financial instruments, like if you want to deposit your money in crypto exchanges, or if you want to deposit your money in demat accounts. So, what banks are letting you do is control your money from one central place, right? And you can use all of these services. So, again, when you open a bank account, you can also get a credit card with the bank by creating a fixed deposit. You can apply for a credit card. So, essentially, bank is providing you all these services of sending money, receiving money, lending money, borrowing money, and this is what centralized finance has been doing so far. Okay. Now, there was a very interesting thing that Bill Gates once said. Bill Gates said that banking is important, banks are not. Okay. Bill Gates once said that banking is important, banks are not. And the whole idea of being your own bank immediately clicked with a lot of people. What if we could control all of our finances? What if we could become our own bank? And of course, like everything, there are pros to it, there are cons to it as well. It's a double edged sword. I'm not a biased person around DeFi to tell you that it's all good. Very, very risky thing, and probably going to be risky. Why? Because when banks have been established, you are putting your trust in a central authority, and banks are acting as that authority which manage the trust part for you. So, for example, today, if something happens, you can go and you can talk to your bank. If you have deposited your money in bank and the bank closes, some part of your amount is going to be insured from the government. I think it's 5 lakh rupees in India. I don't remember the exact amount, but it's somewhere around that. And if you have up to 5 lakh rupees in your bank account and the bank closes, the government will make sure that you get your money back. So that kind of insurance for your money is there. But at the same time, we have also seen that the banking sector had a lot of scams. Banks keep on giving loans to people who would default. Banks keep on giving loans to the rich people at very very good like interest rate, and knowing that a lot of rich people would default, they still do. Of course there is a lot of corruption, there is a lot of favoritism. If you and I go to a bank to apply for a loan, we have to do so much of paperwork, and we have to have so much of stuff that it's mind boggling. Like we need to have a credit score, we need to have a civil score, we need to make sure that we are giving them a good amount of collateral if we want to take for good loans. Okay, so all these services, of course, the pro is that banks are making sure that we do this. There is a lot of liquidity in the bank, but at the same time, for someone who wants to take out maybe 10 CR in one day, liquidity might be an issue. And again, with banks, we are now connecting everything with our bank. So with a debit card, we can pay for 100 different things. Okay, that debit card is being issued by the bank, so it's a service. And for every service that we use, banks charge us money. So if they issue a debit card, I think on debit card there is no annual fee, but on credit card there is an annual fee which gets waived off if you spend a certain amount. And similarly, if we take a loan, there is a fees for that. If we request different services, there is a fees for that too. If I apply for a forex card today, there is a fees for that too. Okay, so similarly for all the payment processors that get connected to the bank. So if you're a freelancer or if you're a business owner, you know that these payment processors take fees from you. And again, these payment processors also enable the refund, the uh, like collecting of payment, generating invoice, and lots of good benefits that they provide, which otherwise would take a lot of time. So the thing is that banks and these financial institutions of CeFi provide you with that element of trust and service. But at the same time, they charge you money for it, which is fair, of course, because it's a business, it's not charity. In decentralized finance, you are becoming your own bank, which means you're getting all of these responsibilities on your shoulders, which is one thing that most of the people miss out. You can't have the best of DeFi without having the risk of CeFi. If you are to be your own bank, think about the risk. What are going to be the risk? If you're going to be your own bank, what risk would you have? Of course, if you're going to be your own bank, you don't have to pay the salaries, you don't have to pay for expensive softwares, you don't have to uh, pay for physical security measures, you don't have to pay for trusted third party services, but still, there are going to be lots of risk involved, right? Think about those risks because everything has to be seen from both the sides. What if somebody takes your money? Totally. There is no trusted third party in between, right? Yeah, rug pull, security. Sure, cyber hacks, scams, they're already taking place. No way to track. Absolutely. So, plenty of risk that you have to also manage. Okay. So, when you are your own bank, just like in a physical bank, you have a bank account number, you have a wallet address when you are your own bank. Okay. Just like with physical banks, you have a net banking password, you have a seed phrase. And just like you get OTP to confirm transactions, here you have private keys. So you have a wallet address, you have seed phrase, and you have private keys. These three things are really important when you are going to be your own bank. Your wallet address is going to be on a public ledger, which is fine. People won't know that this wallet belongs to, say, Parth, or this wallet belongs to Rohit, or this wallet belongs to Jyoti, because your name is not going to be there. So you get anonymity in return. But you still have your seed phrase and private keys, which is security, right? So if someone gets access to your seed phrase, if someone gets access to your private keys, it's like getting access to your net banking password and OTP. What happens when a hacker gets access to your net banking password and OTP? Or when a hacker is able to break into your net banking account and also brute force with the OTP? They'll take the money, right? Similarly, someone who is able to get your seed phrase and private keys will drain your account. That person is going to take all that money out of your account. Okay, so this is a huge risk, and people don't understand that becoming your own bank has hundreds of benefit, but it also has hundreds of headaches as well. And that is why I always tell people that DeFi is not for everyone. It's not for people who don't want to take the headache. Of course, It's for people who are okay in taking that headache because they understand the risk to reward. But it's not for people who don't want to take that risk. Because of course, in crypto, the amount of security is better. There is blockchain being used, smart contracts being used, cryptography being used, but at the same time, the risk of these technologies are also used. If you don't know how blockchain works, if you don't know how cryptography works, if you don't know how smart contracts work, but someone else does, you are at a risk. Hackers know how to get around with these smart contracts as well. In August, I think on 10th August 2021, Poly Network had a $610 million hack. 610 million. Anonymous. That guy returned the money. That's what Poly Network said. But again, 610 million gone. Before that, Pancake Bunny had one. Recently, Autoshark had one. I think in October, and Autoshark had one. So you have to understand that all of these things are really important to understand. Okay, you need to be smart enough to learn about these things, especially about the tech that you're going to be using. If you are not going to learn about the tech, you're going to lose in DeFi. Okay, someone who learns it is going to use. Again, plenty of benefits. DeFi is open. I mean, anyone can transact with anyone. It's fast. You don't have to wait for 2 days for money to go from one country to another, then wait a weekend. You don't have to pay high fees. For example, if I get $100 from US today from PayPal, after all the currency conversion and PayPal fees and everything else, I'll probably get 90 to 93 rupees. You don't have to pay that kind of fees. Anonymity is there. Okay, it's flexible. You can choose to send payments through smart contracts. You can set up services like what do we say, escrow, and it's transparent. Once a transaction takes place, it stays on blockchain forever. Okay, so nothing like a scam 1992 can happen where Harshad Mehta changed the bank receipts and the bank authorities were not aware about it. So something like that cannot happen. These are the benefits of DeFi. Okay, so at the same time, risk I have already told you about. Services, again, plenty of services in DeFi: borrowing, lending, trading, insurance, providing liquidity, staking. These are the services that you can have in DeFi. And then disadvantages, you have to maintain your own books. Just like a bank, you have to do your own bookkeeping. You have to have high security measures. You don't know the sites that you're going to be transacting with. Are there any illegal or bad actors there? Because you don't know the KYC of the other person. DeFi for chains require a lot of heavy computing. That's why Ethereum has a lot of high transaction fees. There is no trusted third party intermediary service. So if you get hacked, you cannot file a complaint. Like you can't DeFi with the mindset of CeFi. That's what I can put in. Plus, there are plenty of flash loans and hacks, just like how banks had robberies in their early days, and then banks had to put on all those advanced security measures. Like they started putting security guards, they started putting armored trucks, they started putting armored walls, they started installing CCTV, they started having tens of deep security measures that we don't even know about. So all of these elements will come in DeFi with time, but right now they are not there. And the risk, again, if anyone gets your seed phrase, you can lose your money. If anyone gets your private keys as well, you'll 100% lose your money. If you click on any malicious link, you'll lose your money. If you enter the wrong URL and go to a phishing site, you'll lose your money. Because you have to understand the gravity of the responsibility that you are taking. And of course, with great responsibility comes great power, or something like that. So you're also going to get great power, but you have to understand that today, if you're putting in some money in DeFi, you can't expect that tomorrow morning when you wake up, that money is going to be there 100% of the times. Sometimes it's not going to be there. It will be just gone. I have seen two flash loans or three flash loans or hacks happening right in front of my eyes. Right in front of my eyes. I have seen the total value locked, which is a metric in DeFi, TVL, going from 200 million to 80 million and then 40 million in a matter of few seconds. So these risks are always going to be there. I hope you guys are understanding all of this. If not, shoot your questions. But yeah, uh, as of today, I think 200 or 300 billion dollars are locked in DeFi. The core of DeFi is decentralized exchanges, decentralized applications, and decentralized protocols. So yeah, this is what DeFi on a broader conceptual level is. Best DeFi money makers. Yeah, we'll come to that part as well. But let me know if this is making sense so far. Also, if you're just joining in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. Okay. Um, let's get like record engagement on this. So, to understand DeFi now in terms of practical ways, think of the core of banking services. How do banks make money? How do banks make money? Think about it. Banks make money by lending some money to someone and borrowing some money from someone. How many of you understand how banks make money? Interest difference, exactly. By lending and borrowing, right? Um, See, this is how banks make money. So, for example, uh, this is a bank. On one side, there are tens and hundreds of people who are depositing their money in bank. For depositing this money, the banks give them certain percentage, which is X percent. Okay. Then there is someone who wants to uh, take this money from the bank, and the bank gives this guy money on Y percent. Now, as long as the bank is keeping Y greater than X, it will make money, right? As long as Y is greater than X. If bank is giving 6% of fixed deposit interest rate and it's taking 12% from this person to whom it's giving a loan, this net is 6%. Now, irrespective of the amount that has been deposited, this is 6% for like one moment we are saying this. Okay. Now, of course, every bank has different amount of money that is invested in. Like some banks have say 100 CR, some banks have 1000 CR, some banks have 10,000 CR. Different banks have different kind of money deposited into this. This money that is deposited in a bank, okay, and is available with the bank at any point of time. So this is the total deposit. Okay. Now out of 10,000, the bank only has like the bank has loaned some money, the bank is giving some interest, and right now the bank only has say 1000 CR available. This 1000 CR is called liquidity. This is the liquidity of bank. Now if a for example say a bank has 1000 branches across India, and in every branch there is 1 CR that the bank has on any given day. Okay. And if you go and you have given or you have deposited 2 CR in bank and you want to take those 2 CR out, the bank does not have that kind of liquidity to support you right now. So the bank will ask for arranging some time so they can arrange more liquidity. So this is one thing you have to keep in mind. If you want to take out big amount of money at one point of time from the bank, there is going to be a liquidity issue. If everyone comes in and wants to get their money out at the very same day, the bank is going to have major liquidity issues. If the bank gives this 1 CR to you because you wanted at least 50% of it right now, and rest of the people who want to take money out of the bank on that day, again the bank is going to have liquidity issues. So I hope you are understanding three things. One, how banks make money. This is 6%. Two, what is total deposited, and three, what is liquidity. This 9,000 CR difference is probably where banks have loaned this amount and they're getting an interest back. Okay. And they're keeping this 1,000 CR as a reserve or whatever you want to call it. So this is the very basic uh, example of how banks work. Now, in crypto, DeFi also works in a similar way. Okay, there is lending, there is borrowing, and it the very basic uh, of DeFi is similar to a bank. How and what do I mean? Uh, so, for example, in DeFi, again, this is DeFi. I don't know why. Hmm, let's try this. Okay, this is DeFi. Firstly, let's understand the very basic of DeFi. This is same. You deposit your money, 1,000 people deposit their money. This gives you some interest. People who want to take a loan, they come in, they take a loan. This is giving you X, taking Y, and the difference, they have to be profitable, they have to be Y greater than X. This is the very basic of DeFi. Okay, very similar to how CeFi works, except everything is done here through smart contracts and everything is being recorded on blockchain. So this is how DeFi works. Plus, the liquidity is not that much of an issue. Liquidity is like manageable right now. Maybe in future, when market grows a lot, we might have liquidity issues. But right now, liquidity is a lot higher than what we have in CeFi. And right now, when, for example, banks give you 6% or 5% to keep your money, DeFi right now, because like right now it gives you say 10% for anywhere up to 30-40%. Okay, and this I'm talking about stable coins. So remember the term stable coins. I'll explain that in a minute. So when, remember I told you there is something called TD, total amount deposited. Total amount deposited in banks is right now huge. And in DeFi we have something called TVL, which is total value locked. Total value locked right now, like I was talking about earlier, is around 200 to 300 billion. Okay, so that is why uh, DeFi is able to offer 10 to 40% of returns. When this TVL grows from 200 billion to say 500 billion, this value comes down. When it goes from 500 billion to 1 trillion, this value comes down again. When it grows from 1 trillion to 2 trillion, this again comes down. With more number of users coming in, more TVL coming in, it will automatically, this percentage is automatically going to get down as well. You have to understand that these percentage returns that you see are not sustainable. Okay, they are only there because less number of users are there, and the ones who are there are taking that risk that they can lose their money in one go. I have lost my money in one go in multiple occasions on DeFi, but at the same time the reward is much higher. Like if you're getting 5 to 6% here, and if you're getting 10 to 40% here, it's easily 2 to 5 times more money or 6 times more money than what a CeFi would pay. So again, very basic uh, definitions of how TVL works, how interest rate matters, number of users, and all of this. Let me know if this is making sense to you. I would personally want to rather borrow from DeFi. DeFi does not discriminate. It does not care about my age, my gender, my religion, my nationality, my skin color, my credit history. Private lenders care about these things sometimes. Uh, it's a fair world for DeFi. Now, remember stable coins. I was mentioning a term called stable coins. So, what are stable coins? So, for example, you cannot use your dollar in crypto. Why? Because in crypto, we use currencies that are built on blockchain. Now, currencies that are built on blockchain are essentially stable coins, and there are multiple chains in these blockchains. For example, Ethereum chain is there, Binance Smart Chain is there, Phantom chain is there. For every chain, there are different stable coins. So, for example, there is USDT primarily used on Ethereum, BUSD primarily used on Binance Smart Chain, UST on Luna. Then there is USDC. Okay, there is FUSDT for Phantom chain. So different stable coins. The idea is that if you have, say, for example, $1 million. Okay, you put $1 million in DeFi, you get 1 million USDT, which means the money that you're putting is pegged from ratio of 1:1. The actual money that you put in is there, $1 million. You can take it out at any point of time, and you're getting 1 million USDT, which you can spend or use on blockchain. This is how the stable coins work. They are pegged to the US dollar in the ratio of 1:1. Uh, so yeah, this is how stable coins work. Think about it like you are spending $1 of real world to have $1 of virtual world. Okay, and every time you use a dollar in virtual world, your dollar in real world gets spent. So this is the simplest way I can tell you. And these stable coins, they have high utility in DeFi. Yeah, I love the docs too, especially since I have removed all the soundproofing. So I need to put that up again. Uh, so I hope this is making sense. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Now the question comes: how do you access DeFi? Okay, to access DeFi, you need to use dApps. You cannot access DeFi with regular mobile apps. You need to install dApps. So the one of the core dApps that exist is called MetaMask. Okay, so let me share this with you. And of course, if you guys are sharing your questions, I'll take these questions in a sequential way. So if you share something that is supposed to be covered tomorrow, we'll talk about it tomorrow. Okay, don't worry about it. That I'm not answering your questions or I'm not seeing your questions. So this is MetaMask. Okay, you can add this to Chrome, add extension. Now it's just getting installed. You can see 10 million. I think it's yeah, 10 million plus users. Um, so now this extension is involved. I already have another wallet, Phantom wallet here. When you click on this MetaMask, And I'm on my desktop right now, so you can install this on your phone as well. It works both ways. So I can simply go ahead and create my account, get started, create a wallet. uh, I agree. Now this is where I choose a password, so you can choose any password that you want. So for example, I am choosing a password, a random password, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay, I click on I agree, and so now you can watch this video. You should watch this video. And next, it tells you what is a secret recovery phrase. Your secret phrase is a 12-word phrase that is the master key to your wallet and your funds. So when someone gets access to this secret recovery phrase, they can hack into your wallet. Okay. How do I save my secret recovery phrase? Save it in a password manager, which I don't recommend. Store it in a bank vault, which I recommend, but becomes contradictory if you want to do DeFi with CeFi. But again, it's a good security measure. Store it in a safe deposit box, which I recommend. Write down and store it in multiple secret places, which I also recommend. Should I share my secret recovery phrase? No, never share your secret recovery phrase, not even with MetaMask. If someone asks for your recovery phrase, they are likely trying to scam you and steal your wallet and funds. This is just like when someone asks you for your net banking password and you give them your net banking password thinking that they're calling you from bank or you have won a lottery and you have inherited great property. So you can watch this video. Click on next. It says your secret recovery phrase makes it easy to back up and restore your account. Never disclose your secret recovery phrase. Anyone with this phrase can take your ether forever. This is a warning you need to read 10 times. The moment you share the secret recovery phrase with anyone, anyone, okay, you risk your funds getting lost. Store this phrase in a password manager like one password. Write this. If you want more security, write this on multiple locations. Memorize this phrase. Okay, so now you can download the secret phrase and keep it stored in an encrypted drive as well. So I can click here and download this one. I'll click on save and I'll click to see this is the secret recovery phrase in this case. I'll just copy this because I've already saved this. Click on next. And now I have to put the words there. So now I actually have to see this secret recovery phrase. So let me stop this for a moment and see the phrase. It says extend nuclear gentle. Um, where is that phrase? Little right audit gospel. Little right audit gospel. Cost gain model frost couch. Cost gain model frost couch. So uh, yeah, when people call and ask OTP, you should give it to them because of course they are nice people. So now I've put it and I click on confirm, and now my wallet is here. So uh, this you can see is my account number. Okay, this is Ethereum mainnet, one of the blockchains. I can see my account on Etherscan. Now, what is Etherscan? Remember when you were a child and you would see your father going to bank with a passbook, and that passbook would have all the transactions that were being done. This is similar. Etherscan is a similar passbook kind of thing for you. It is the open ledger which tracks all of your transaction. It's a block explorer, technically. The logo, it tells you the price of Ethereum right now, which has increased by 8.8%. Gas fees right now. You can filter the transactions, home, blockchain, token. You can even create an account here, sign in. Uh, right now, my balance is zero Ether. My Ether value is zero. This is my name that I can see. If I want, I can add a name. Uh, there are no transactions right now. Okay, so there are no transactions that I have done right now. So once I do transactions, it will change. Okay, once I do transactions, it will change. No analytics for me right now. No comments, nothing. So this is your passbook where everything happens. This is your wallet address. Remember this wallet address, save it at multiple locations. Always check and read the entire wallet address when you make your transactions. When you're sending me money and if I give you this address, cross check it twice, because sometimes some extensions can change some digits of these wallets. So you don't want to have that risk. Okay. Now, this is a DeFi platform called curve.fi, curve.finance. So I'll just connect my MetaMask. It's saying connect to your wallet. Uh, let's see. So curve.fi is one of the biggest platforms. Aave is another one. Anchor protocol is another one. Um, it's taking too long. Let's refresh. Next, connect. Now my wallet is connected. You can see my wallet is connected here. Why won't you show? Sure. Phew, I don't know why. But let me show you something. If this is connected sites, it says my wallet is now connected with curve.finance, which means that this can view my account address right now. This is the permission that curve.finance has. I can click on delete and then I'll have to connect my wallet address again with curve.finance. So when you click on these three, you can see the account details. You can export the private key, which I highly recommend. This is the QR code that you need to like share with someone with whom you want to ask for funds, and connected sites, which shows which sites you are connected with. So if I go back to curve, if I come in here and see all of these different platforms in here, I want to come in and do a little bit of basic stuff. Okay, so we can go to pools. Let's check what pools is. Okay, let's go to USD because we want to see USD pools, and let's click on base APY, or rather let's click on volume. Okay, so this tells me that UST pool, UST is a stable coin, gives me 6.26% interest right now. It has had a volume of $32 million daily. Okay, 6.26%, $32 million daily. Then if I come in here and if I see this GUSD 0.34%, BUSD another stable coin 2.31% interest rate, and I can see and figure out, okay, which interest rates do I want to go ahead with. Okay, similarly I can see different crypto assets here. So for example, this is my BTC. I can lend and borrow against this BTC as well. So, for example, in real world, we have Muthoot Finance, where you take a gold bar and you say today the price of one gold bar is 1 lakh rupees. You give that gold bar to Muthoot Finance, and they give you a loan of up to 70,000 rupees with 12% interest. So you have given them a gold bar worth 1 lakh. They have given you a loan of up to 70%, which turns out to be 70,000, and now you have to pay them an interest of 12% on this 70,000, which is 8,400 rupees in the year. Similarly, you can lend and borrow against your digital gold, which is Bitcoin, on these websites. So you can give the like deposit your Bitcoin, someone can borrow money against it. You get interest, Curve takes a piece of the pie, and everyone makes money. Now, these are the risks that I highly recommend you to go ahead and read. Read the white paper as well. And uh, let's go to CoinMarketCap and let's see Aave as well. But I hope you guys are able to see this is the UI is really poor of Curve. I don't like Curve's UI much, but that's how it is right now. And again, this is even pre .com era. If you want to think of it like, if you are seeing this right now, you are still early. Uh, if we go to Aave, which was called Ethland, and this is like another one. Let's go and check out the website. Oh, by the way, if you want to come, this is CoinMarketCap. On CoinMarketCap, you can find out information about all cryptocurrencies. There is these categories called DeFi. You can go to DeFi, you can check out all the DeFi cryptocurrencies in here. Okay. So you can see AVAX, you can see Luna, these are all the different cryptocurrencies sorted by market cap, volume, circulating supply. I have a full tutorial on how to use CoinMarketCap. You can check that out on my channel. It's like half an hour long. These are all the DeFi cryptocurrencies. It tells you that DeFi crypto market cap is right now 145 billion with a B, 8.86% increase over the last day. This is the trading volume, and this is like 161. This is what it says. So yeah, let's enter Aave. I acknowledge and I agree. Um, if I connect, uh, it gives me different options like browser wallet, which is MetaMask, Trust Wallet. I can go for my Ether wallet. I can go for Coinbase, Ledger, different kinds of wallet. I'll go for a browser wallet because I am using a browser wallet right now. Next, 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 connect, connect, and connected. And again, if we come to MetaMask, if we see connected sites, you see app.aave.com. I can remove Curve, disconnect, and now Curve does not have access to anything. Now you can see this is Aave. I can deposit money in here. I can come and I can put in my crypto assets. This is the return that I'm going to get on my stablecoin. This shows me 2.74% on DAI, 2.89% on USD. On USDT, I'm getting 2.58%. Uh, okay, this is when I deposit. When I want to borrow, I can borrow against uh, 3.92, which is variable. Okay, stable is 12%. Then again 3%, 12%, 11%. So what it basically says is that I can borrow against these variable APYs. Okay, this is the interest rate that I need to pay if I want to borrow cryptocurrencies. If I go for stable coins exclusively, I can borrow these stable coins. This is the one with the most interest, 17%. So instead of paying 17% for this, what I can do is I can borrow the one with least interest. Say I can borrow True USD and then swap it with BUSD. And now I use BUSD, deposit, and make interest on it. Did that make sense? This is where it gets interesting. This is the beauty of DeFi. Let me know if this made sense. I see that True USD has least, or even USDP has least, but I am familiar with True USD. At 3.19%, I can borrow this because BUSD has 17%. I can swap True USD with BUSD and save 14.5% or 14.7% on interest. Let me know if this made sense. Similarly, on deposit, I can see stable coins, I can see APY. I have highest on BUSD. See, 13%. Isn't this crazy? It is, right? Like how you can play around and make money with, you are getting paid to borrow money, is how I can put it. Will you be saying the name again? That's APY, yeah. Don't worry about the terms. See, don't worry about the terms. I'll explain all the terms that are relevant to you. But understand this concept. Did you see what I, like, were you able to grasp what I showed you? Give me a yes if you were able to grasp it. Think about it for a minute. Let it, if thinking about it makes you feel uncomfortable, get uncomfortable. Okay. What happened was I could borrow True USD at 3% because BUSD was at 17%. Now I could borrow BUSD or I could swap BUSD and deposit BUSD and make money. So essentially, what I'm doing is I am making money out of thin air, and this is not going to last for a long time. This is only going to last as long as we don't have enough market participants. And if we have enough participants, if they start doing this, then again, this won't last for a long period of time. Yep, not exactly net 14%. See, let's come here. Uh, okay, let me. Sorry, I clicked on wrong sharing option. Uh, it's APY, so it's charged. I think on a like I need to check how often it's charged, but uh, like I don't do this kind of DeFi. A few friends do, but yeah, I can. You can always check that. Um, if we go to screen, yeah, this is share. Coming back here, um, go back to borrow. See, true USD can be borrowed at 3.19%. So, for example, I come in here, I uh, I borrow $1,000. I don't know why I don't get like the they have really ruined this product for me. So I can take 1,000% or 1,000 TUSD, true dollar, okay, at 3.19%, which means I need to pay on this, I need to pay roughly $32. This is the interest. Now, what I can do is I can go ahead and I can use this amount and deposit. Sorry, first I need to swap this. Sorry, I missed a step. First, I need to swap this with BUSD. Ah, I need to swap this with BUSD. This takes some fees, say of fees is usually around one less than $1. Plus there is some currency conversion charges of say another $10. So this is $11 that I lose here. Okay. Now I got BUSD, which I can go ahead and deposit in here at 12.96. So after doing all of this, if I was left with $990, I can get 12.96% here. Okay. And if we do a calculation of this, this is $128. And if I remove 32, this is $96. So technically, I am being paid 9.6% on my base amount. And if I increase a zero, this increases a zero here. If I increase a zero here, this increases a zero here. So as much as you want to borrow, of course, you have to put some, I think, collateral there. But yeah, essentially, you are getting paid to borrow, is how I can put it. Remember those times when all of these apps like Ola, Uber, Flipkart used to give these incentives that if you refer a friend, you get $50 or 50 rupees. If for Ola and Uber, it used to be 600 rupees in very early days. I remember I had at one point of time around 4 lakh rupees. Me and a few of my friends, we all have anywhere from 4 to 10 lakh rupees because we had got everyone to download the app. Like hundreds of people were downloading the app because of us, and we had got so much money that we were like, oh yeah, we can now use Ola for next 5 years. But then Ola banned, like Uber banned us. So Ola took away the money. They were like, you are exploiting the system. And I was like, shit, we got you so many downloads, and now you are saying that you don't believe anyone could get you so many referrals, that we are exploiting the system. So that was a harsh lesson, that never ever do free marketing for someone again. But yeah, the point is, at that point of time, companies were spending a lot of money to create a new market. And similarly, these platforms right now are spending this kind of money from VC money to create new markets again. Once the market is created, once mass adoption starts taking place, this kind of returns will not be there. And I suspect by 2025, these returns will start going down. We'll see law of diminishing returns coming into picture. Uh, so yeah, yeah, thanks, Parth. I'll definitely see about Figma. Yeah, you definitely have to put some collateral. See, that's why I was saying, even here you have to put some collateral. But I have never gone ahead with this exact process myself. That's why I shared that I have never done this. A few of my friends have. But this was the easiest one to explain. This was the easiest one to explain. So that's why I explained this, that this is how this happens. And you have to maintain a health score, you have to pay the interest on time, you have to do a lot of stuff that you would otherwise also do if you would be with a bank. So I can also tell you more complex strategy, but I can't share that because that would be democratizing too much power. But for people who are uh, say, like, let's just leave it there, it will be democratizing too much power. But yeah, if you understand DeFi and play around with it for even a week, you'll learn it on your own as well. So um, I hope you have learned about lending, borrowing, depositing. This one. Let me know if you have any other questions around this lending, borrowing, and depositing. ये तो फ्री का पैसा है या फ्री का पैसा है भाई सच में आ, आता भी है like you can take it out and see how I play with DeFi. So firstly, how I play with DeFi depends a lot on what I want to do. Okay. So for example, I use DeFi to accumulate more assets. That's my goal of using DeFi. I want to create cash flow that helps me accumulate more assets. That's a better way to phrase it. That's how I use DeFi. Yeah, I'm saying milk it until 2025, and then new opportunities will be there. Maybe in NFT, in metaverse. Who knows? The space is evolving so fast that I don't even know what's going to happen 4 years down the line. But uh, see, Abhay, I can say that how do you ensure that you don't pay a lot of fees? Test it out on testnet. Test it out on testnet. Okay. So that's how you can figure it out. Otherwise, read around it, YouTube it. I have never done this process, so I can't tell you around the gas fees, and I don't want to make something up because that would be misleading. But yeah, just figure it out on YouTube or Google. So the next thing that you need to learn for DeFi is, I would say, staking and liquidity pools. Okay. Uh, Now, what is staking and what is liquidity pool? So Bitcoin is built on a consensus that is called proof of work, which means that there are miners who mine Bitcoin and they get Bitcoin as reward. There are more consensus like this, like POS, which is proof of stake. You can go ahead and you can read about proof of stake. I won't go a lot in detail around what proof of stake is right now. I have got a lot of resources around this in my Discord. You can just search proof of stake and read those. But I'll talk about liquidity pools now. Okay. So coming back to that example of banks. So banks are able to do transactions because we are providing banks liquidity. What happens when you are your own bank? Think about it. Banks are able to do transactions because we provide liquidity. right? That's why we get interest in account. What happens when you are your own bank? Think about it. Think about it. I'll just pick some stuff. Yeah. What happens when you are your own bank? I mean, if this is taking this long for you to figure it out, it's okay. But I'll still tell you the answer. You get the same money, right? If you are your own bank, you make money like banks do. It's simple. If you are providing liquidity, you get money just like banks do. Now, to understand how liquidity pools work, you need to understand how decentralized exchanges work. And to understand how decentralized exchanges work, you need to understand how centralized exchanges work. Okay. So, in centralized exchanges or demat accounts, what happens is that there is a buyer and there is a seller. And what they do is that if price of buyer and seller matches, they let the transaction pass and they charge a fees on it. Right? That's what happens. If I go on a centralized exchange today and I want to buy Bitcoin at $30,000, but there is no one selling Bitcoin at $30,000, I won't be able to buy it. But if price of Bitcoin right now is $48,000 and I want to buy Bitcoin at 48,100, I won't have any issues. Although I'll be paying $100 extra for the price. Okay. So this is how centralized exchange works. Centralized exchange works by matching the orders around the same value. And in this case, they charge a fee on every transaction from both the buyer as well as the seller. Does that make sense to you? Do you understand how even DMAT platforms work like this? Do you understand how this works? Or give me a yes in the chat if you understand how this works. I also don't know how long is this lag here. Uh, okay, now yeses are coming. Now, how does a decentralized exchange work? A decentralized exchange does not have any central authority. So there is no one who matches the transactions from one place to another. Okay. So a decentralized exchange uses a concept called AMM, which is automated. Okay, AMM is automated money machine or money mechanism, something like that. Automated money mechanism, I think. Automated money maker. Yeah, automated money maker. So automated money maker simply says that instead of waiting for a centralized exchange, we create our own liquidity pool. Okay, automated market maker. Sorry, I see AMM as automated money maker. I, for some reason, have always believed DeFi as automated money maker, but it's automated market maker. Great. So, but I still want it to be AMM as automated money maker for me. Okay. So, uh, thing is, we create liquidity. Okay, we create that liquidity because of which transactions can go. Now, the higher the liquidity, the lower the fees. The lower the liquidity, the higher the fees. Does that make sense? If liquidity is high, the fees that is going to be paid is going to be low. And if the liquidity is low, the fees that is going to be paid is going to be high. The advantage of having a liquidity pool is that there is no need for a buyer to wait for a seller and there is no need for a seller to wait for a buyer, if that makes sense. Otherwise, I have to show you my terrible drawing skills again. I know secretly you guys love it too. It's just you can't admit it. But uh, I'll just show you. I'm just trying to figure out if there is a more better way. Mhm. I don't know why I'm not able to draw this the way I want to. Um, Anyways, how to get wrecked in DeFi? Yes, because we are helping the system when it needs the most. Yeah, exactly. Um, so what happens is in a liquidity pool, this is a liquidity pool. Okay, this is almost as if you guys won't be able to see. It's that bad. Like, I don't know why the color is so dull. Is it maybe because I'm choosing something wrong? Thickness is full. Uh, I don't want another color. But anyways, what happens is if remember that TUSD transaction with BUSD, this transaction would be possible when there could be a liquidity pool between TUSD and BUSD. Okay, this will be possible when there is a liquidity pool. Now, if you have provided liquidity of TUSD and BUSD, you get paid on every transaction. If you have provided this liquidity, you get paid on every transaction, which means if you have put in $100 of TUSD and $100 of BUSD, depending on the weight that your amount has in the pool, you'll get percentage of the fees. So for example, what it means is say their pool weight is $10,000, out of which you have provided $100 worth of liquidity for sake of calculation. It means your weight is 1%, right? You have provided 1% of the liquidity. So for all the liquidity fees that comes in, you will get 1%. So every time a TUSD and BUSD transaction takes place, the fees, liquidity fee that is being charged, you will get 1% of it. Similarly, on decentralized exchanges, different uh, there are different coins that are listed. There are different cryptocurrencies that are listed which need liquidity to be present. When we need liquidity to be present, we get money in return of providing that liquidity. Okay, so for example, if I show you this, not able to see anything exactly. I don't know why they have ruined the product so much. I'll get a better system for this from the next couple of weeks. So this is beefy.finance. Okay, this is beefy.finance. It's a DEX decentralized exchange plus an AMM automated money maker, not market maker, because I have always remembered it as automated money maker. I knew AMM is automated market maker, but for me it's automated money maker. Now I can connect my wallet, of course. I can read the docs, which I highly recommend you to read the docs, blog, insure as well. Oh, by the way, you can also insure your money in DeFi. Now, what I can do is I can come in here and I can search for, say, this liquidity pair, Banana BUSD. This liquidity pair, if I provide liquidity for Banana BUSD, I get a daily percentage of 0.88. Okay. Out of which Vault is 0.2, and I'm currently getting a boost of 0.6%, 0.67% thanks to Bitcrush. So if I add liquidity, you can see the total value locked. Remember, TVL, total value locked, it's 553K, okay, which is half a million. TVL is half a million. Higher the TVL, lower the returns. Always remember. Beefy has 240 millions. It's one of the top DeFi platforms. It has 249 volts on Binance Smart Chain. I love Beefy. Very, very smooth to use. So if you go for TVL, this is the vault where most of the people have deposited their money. They have used Cake. They have deposited token of Cake, PancakeSwap, which is the biggest DEX on the Binance Smart Chain, and they're getting 0.14% in here. And total value locked is 47 million out of this 240, which means almost 20% is in Cake. Then on stable coins, it's 9.77%. You can see 9.77%, 22 million TVL is here, which is like 10%. Then for Bitcoin, you can deposit your Bitcoin here and you can get 4.88% on that, which is free money, right? And the 22 million TVL, Beefy, you can take their token, Belt BNB, you can deposit BNB, 8% interest, BNB regular 2% interest, wrapped BNB 2% interest. Figure this stuff out, okay? Read about this. You'll understand very easily what wrap BNB is and how it's different from BNB, then what Belt BNB is, what Belt ETH is. BUSD BNB. If I provide liquidity for this, it uses ApeSwap, which is another DEX, and it gives me 20% APY. This is one of the most stable liquidity pairs on Binance Smart Chain because Binance Smart Chain has its token called BNB. Then Banana, 3.76 mil TVL, I get 100% APY. Now let me sort this by APY for you. So, for example, if I stake Charge BUSD liquidity pool, like if I provide liquidity for Charge BUSD, I get 3% daily, which Beefy provides auto compounding. So at the end of this year becomes 15 million percent. Okay, so if I provide $100 here, at the end of the year, I'm going to get 15.46 million percent returns if this APY remains same. If it drops, of course, this drops. If TVL increases, of course, this drops again. This mainly drops when TVL increases. If I provide liquidity for static BUSD, I get 2.7% daily. This is 2.29 million. If I provide liquidity for CZF BNB, I get 1.8. I'm not saying that you should provide liquidity for these. I'm just showing you what's possible to blow away your mind. DeFi is blowing away your mind. I'm just facilitating it. Baby USDT, I have done this in the past, 2.15K percent, which is like 21x, 410x. Then all of these liquidity pairs. Okay, you can come and you can see uh, like single token staking 0.43% daily, and go ahead, see all of these. So this is how you can see in here. If we go to pancakeswap.finance, it's the biggest DEX on Binance Smart Chain. I don't want to connect my wallet. Go away, go away, go away. Cancel. So on pancakeswap.finance, 2.8 million users in last 30 days, 31 million trades in last 30 days, which means million trades a day, 12 billion staked. The TVL is 12 billion with a B, billion. Okay, earn passive income, learn from their great resources to learn about DeFi, total supply, burn to date, market cap, current emissions. So by the way, most of the people get wrecked on DeFi because they bring CeFi concepts and learn from it. Remember, DeFi is built on emission rate. Okay, we'll talk more about it sometime later, but remember, DeFi is built on emission rate. So if you go to earn, You go to farms, you see price of cake token right now is $12.65. Uh, I don't want what's hot right now. I want money, money, money. Show me the highest money. I want highest APR. I want to make the most amount of money. Great. That is how most people also get wrecked, by the way. So if you provide liquidity for BP, BNB, APR means it is not compounding it on a daily basis. APY means it's being compounded at least once a day. So APR, this is for a year. Okay. Uh, Base is 101, APY is 175, farm multiplier 0.5x. Okay, great. So you can see if you provide liquidity for these all different pairs, you can make money. Nice way to make money. If you see liquidity amount, highest is for BUSD BNB. Now remember on PancakeSwap, BUSD BNB was 19%, it says 27%. So USDT BUSD 7.69%. Like I was telling you how people would swap true USD to BUSD 7.69%, USDC to BUSD, USDT to BNB 25%, Cake to BNB 46%, ETH to BNB 12.43%, BTCB to BUSD 14.2, TUSD to BUSD 5%, and all of these are this. So then you can also go to earn and pools, or you could have clicked here, and these are like single staking. See, it tells you ends in these many blocks. It does not tell you the time because blockchain is built on emissions and blocks. So you can see the time here by going to this countdown. Uh, Let me share it like this. Have I used insurance in DeFi? No, I haven't. I'm a very, very degen guy. I either get wrecked or go with. But I'm going to learn about insurance. I'm going to try insurance probably on Monday. 17 days, 14 hours, 52 minutes. This block ends. Okay. This block ends in how much time? Let's see. Countdown for block number 37 days, 14 hours, 38 minutes, 47 seconds. This can change depending on block height and block time. Okay. So that's why they tell you about in number of blocks and not days. This is thing you have to learn. So again, you can see in terms of total staked, you can see the value. What if I don't want? They have changed this TVL from cake, which is nice. Uh, Total stake you can see whatever you want to stake. You can stake cake, you can earn XCV, you can earn DKT, you can earn BMON, all of these different things you can earn. You can also claim this free 0.09 US dollars that they're giving. I have not claimed it ever, but yeah, this is what you can do. um, so yeah, check these out. Install your MetaMask on your laptop, enter the DeFi degen world, read about these. This is essentially what I wanted to show you guys today. We still have 10 minutes. Passive income, no risk of loss. I don't know. What do you think? Is there a risk of loss? Of all these wrap tokens like RBTC have a 1:1 ratio. 1:1 ratio with what? Like RBTC to BTC. If that's what you were saying, yes, that's a 1:1 ratio. What are the criteria of selecting a liquidity pool? We'll talk about it tomorrow. Today was just a very basic introduction around DeFi and like letting you guys know that this is what happens. Tomorrow we talk about how and what should be the right mindset, how you can play with DeFi, how I play with DeFi. I'll show you a few different strategies. I talked about lending, borrowing, and all of it today. So, yeah, wanted to keep it very simple and basic for today. Also, if you guys are stubborn like me and have not hit that like button and subscribe button yet, please do. If you have questions, put them in the chat. Let's see. Considering everything is great, what would you go for? High APY or high multiplier? I would again, APY and multiplier don't matter to me. What matters to me is what do I want to get more of? Do I want to get more of cash? Do I want to get more of assets? If yes, which assets do I want to get more of? Because I'll show you tomorrow why thinking in terms of APY and APR is a bad move. This is how I lost 50% of money in just a week in DeFi. But think in terms of assets, like on the mastermind call we were talking about how you can buy ETH from BTC, use that ETH to buy BNB, use BNB to buy FTM. So what is my catch? My catch for what? Like if you mean for doing this, my catch is that I'm just creating content because I wanted to and because I need to. Like I needed to explain this to someone because I have to officially record this on Monday. Like I've explained DeFi, but I have to talk about stable coins and NFT and metaverse, which I'm okay, like I can record that. But stable coins, liquidity pool, mining, liquidity mining, staking, proof of stake, consensus is something I need to record in the next couple of days. So that's why I'm doing this for free. If you like, if that's your question. Otherwise, sometimes I really have nothing to do. Like I get free from my core work in 5, 6 hours max, and then I have to do something to keep myself occupied. And I already sleep 10 hours a day. So 8 to 10 hours a day is something that's a lot for me. So I watch anime, movies, and all of it. Yeah. APY or multiplier? See, multiplier is something that shows you what is the most important farm for you, for DEX. So, for example, for cake, if we go back to cake, and this is a great question, by the way, if we go back to farms, so what cake is saying is, if you come here, what cake is saying that right now, anyone who provides cake BNB, cake is providing 40 times more rewards to them, which is reflected here. So cake is providing 40 times more reward to them because cake is the native token of this platform, and BNB is the way you would buy cake. Multiplier simply means how much the platform wants to reward you for providing liquidity. The day cake removes the multiplier from 40 to 20, the APR will drop by half. The day cake changes multiplier from 40 to 80, it doubles. Multiplier also means what is the most important farm for that DEX. Cake makes most of the money from Cake BNB transactions. Secondly, it makes most of the money from BUSD BNB, which is logical. Like you bring BNB into your MetaMask or Trust wallet and then you transact with BNB. So for most people, they start with BNB and BUSD or BNB and Cake or BNB and another coin. Then all these 0.5x are what are the least important for Cake. And uh, if you go for 1x, 6x is USDT BNB. A lot of time people need USDT. Cake BUSD 2.5x. BTCB BUSD 2.5x. BTCB BNB 2.5x. These are the next most important for Cake. USDT BNB 2.5x. Then 2x, 1x, 1x. Also, if you were to go directly for Cake to BUSD, say for example, first what happens is, and there was no BNB BUSD pool, it would need to route the transactions. So DEX is designed in a way just like a bank. It will charge you a fees for every single step. If you do a transaction from one asset to another, and if it needs more steps in between, it will charge you that fees. But the fee that will be reflected would consist of that fee that it's charging you. So Cake BNB is where they have got 300 billion liquidity. BUSD BNB is where they have got 468 billion liquidity. So sorry, 46800 million, 300 million. If you add this, it's 768 million, and they have a TVL of 12 billion. So most of the TVL is here. And then you can also search for liquidity. So again, next is, so these are the top liquidity pools for Cake. So this is how they are incentivizing everyone to provide liquidity for these. 140 million worth of USDC BUSD is here. And again, remember stable coins we were talking about. So see, 384 million, 140 million. So Cake alone has almost got 700 million in 700 million in stablecoin liquidity pairs. Then Beefy has some more, other decks have some more, so on and so forth. Yeah, because of low TVL. So again, I shared a PDF in the group where we talked about 5 factors which affect APR. So those 5 factors include emission rate, TVL, then multiplier. So that is why it has high APR. Plus, high APR ultimately is a bad thing. If most for 99% projects, high APR is a bad thing. To be honest, most projects get ruined because of high APRs, because ultimately someone has to pay for that high APR, right? And most people would sell the token of the native project for that high APR. So if the project is not handling that sell pressure by balancing what they are offering in APR, they're going to get wrecked. So yeah. Also, if you think DeFi is crazy, how many of you have heard about leverage trading and leverage or margin trading? Give me a yes in the chat without giving me a yes. How many of you have heard about leverage trading or margin trading? So, if you have heard about leverage trading or margin trading, I can tell you that DeFi has, so leverage trading simply means that you have got $1,000 in your account and you want to play with $10, you can borrow up to 100 times the money for one trade. Okay. You can do the same in DeFi. You can do leverage staking, margin staking, leverage liquidity pool, margin liquidity pool, where you can, even if you're providing liquidity that's 0.1% of the pool, you can take leverage up to 5 times. So if you haven't heard about it, don't worry. I'm just telling you like how crazy this world is. You can learn about the craziness later on as well. But yeah, uh, I hope these questions have been like answered. You guys don't have any other questions around this. Rest of the stuff we'll talk about tomorrow. Also, before we end this, share your biggest takeaway in the chat. Or actually, better, I can end this and you can share the biggest takeaway in comments. Whoever shares the biggest takeaway in the comment gets nothing technically from me. I don't have anything to any giveaway, but yeah. Oh, we can do something like this. Share your biggest takeaway and tag me on Twitter. Okay. Share your biggest takeaway on Twitter and tag me there, or take a screenshot of this and tag me on Instagram. Uh, on Twitter, you can. This is my username. You can tag me here. This will be good social proof for me if you can do. Uh, you can tag me on these accounts. Um, Again, nothing but love. So if you can tag me, great. In fact, let me make it simpler for you. Just reply to this tweet and share your biggest takeaways on this. Okay. and even retweet this if you want. This would be the biggest help for me if you can. And I'll see you guys tomorrow at same time, 9 to 10:30. We'll talk about a little more advanced stuff. Uh, I hope you guys had fun as much as I did, because I genuinely thoroughly enjoyed this. And yep, see you guys tomorrow. Good night. Make sure that you share the takeaway.